So I was looking, around for a bed liner. You really have three options. You can get a spray in, which is what most people seem to do, and I've done that before myself. You can get a plastic drop-in liner, or you've got this Bedrug option. And the Bedrug is something I haven't tried before, so I thought I would try it. The advantages to the Bedrug, from what I can see, I haven't installed it yet, but from what I can see, number one, it's the least expensive option. I was able to buy the full bed liner for $380, which is about half of what a spray-in would have cost me, and it's about $150 less than a really good plastic drop-in. So it's the least expensive option. It's not going to scratch the paint any worse than it's already scratched. I like the fact that the Bedrug is really soft on the knees, so when you crawl up in the bed, it doesn't tear your knees up. And they say, the people that make it say, that you can throw anything you want to at it, and we're going to test that on this channel. Mulch, dirt, gravel, hauling boxes, power equipment, I don't know, firewood, whatever you want to put in your truck. They say that the Bedrug can handle it because it's not actually carpet. It's actually a synthetic, plasticky type of material. I forget exactly what they call it, but it's not really carpet. So supposedly it holds up really well to stains and spills and water. You can pressure wash it out and clean it. So, it's soft, it looks nice, it's easy on the body when you're crawling around in here, it's inexpensive, and they say it's going to hold up really well. I thought it would be the best way to go, so that's why I went with the Bedrug. So after I get it installed here, we're going to throw everything that we can at it. We're going to use this truck like most guys use their trucks. We're going to be throwing all kinds of things in the bed of this truck, hauling and towing and everything else. And we will see if the Bedrug really does hold up the way that they claim. So I just took the Bedrug out of the box. I'm going to lay it here in the garage floor and let it kind of relax overnight, and then I will install it tomorrow. Obviously you can see the box is a square, so they roll this thing up and stuff it in the box, and I just thought it would be a little easier to fool with tomorrow if I let it, kind of lay here and relax a little bit. But, initial impressions, obviously you look at this and they call it a Bedrug because it looks kind of like a rug. It feels like carpet, but it's not really carpet. And the way this works is you can see the bulkhead up there, and of course these pieces are going to unroll and make up the sides. But you got some zippers here. You can see one of them right here. And so basically the floor of this thing and the sides of it are going to zip together. And you also have, you can see some hook and loop here. So that's the reason why when you order one of these, they ask you if you've already got a spray-in bed liner or not, because you're going to have to stick the other side of the hook and loop to the bed of your truck. And so if you've got a spray-in bed liner, then you have to take some other measures to make sure that that part adheres properly. But once you put this in, it's not going to scratch anything. It's not going to make any damage to your bed whatsoever. I like how on the bottom of this, see that foam? And it's actually contoured there so that the ridges in the bottom of your truck and the floor of your truck back there in the bed, this is going to fit right down in there. So really easy on the knees if you're crawling around in the bed. Looks like something that's going to be rugged and tough. It's not going to care about being wet. So let's put this thing in the truck, and it should be pretty interesting to see how it holds up. Can't wait to do a long-term review on this. All right, step number one is to get in your bed and scrub it down really, really good. Now I'm using some Dawn dish soap because it's specifically designed to remove oil and grease and wax and grime and that kind of stuff. You don't really want to use car wash soap because some of those have wax built into them. So I'm kind of out of breath because I'm trying to do this quickly, but the whole idea here is to make it to where the adhesive is going to stick a whole lot better. So I'm washing all this down really good, and then I'm going to rinse it out really good, and then we'll be ready to get in here with some rubbing alcohol and start adhering the bed rug into the places where it goes. All right guys, so now I am finally ready to install this bed rug. So it's just like anything else. If you're painting an exterior wall or an interior wall or whatever the case might be, your prep work is the key to all of this. It takes a little bit of extra time to go in here and wash everything really good, get all the grease, wax, fingerprints, everything out of here, dry it all up real well. It takes a little extra time, but you have to put the prep work into it, because the prep work is the key. You want the adhesive strips to stick really well, because you don't want your bed rug flying out of the truck on the highway, and you just don't want it sliding around either. I mean, you can see this big scratch. I mean, this bed was already taking a beating. I really don't know why they ship trucks with painted surfaces in the cargo box like this. They know that people are going to haul things back here, and a nice painted surface might look nice when it's brand new, but it's not going to hold up. You know, they should ship these with some kind of composite material or bed liner or something in them from the factory, in my opinion. But anyway, we're getting ready to take care of this. So now it's all clean, it's all dry, and we're ready to put the bed rug up in here and start sticking it in place. So I'm not going to go through an entire detailed video of how to do all of this, because honestly there's a lot of installation videos online already. But the premise of this thing is that you're going to put your Velcro strips on the floor section of the bed rug, and then we're going to turn it back over again and we're basically going to start zipping the rest of it together. So like I showed you, there's zippers around this thing, and we're just going to zip the whole thing together and make a complete bed liner out of it. And then we're going to put it up in the bed of the truck and tuck it all in nice and snug where it's supposed to go so that it fits well. And then you're going to start, as you're in the truck with it, you're going to start peeling it back, taking the strips off of the adhesive and then pushing it back down again. They give you a lot of adhesive. You're going to tear all these apart. They're all individual pieces. You can see you've got quite a few of those, and you've got some long strips as well. You can see the zipper, how it kind of comes together. They also give you, in the kit, some adhesion promoter. You're going to use this on areas where you're sticking some of this adhesive double-sided hook and loop tape onto plastic surfaces. There's a few places in the bed where you're going to stick this onto plastic, and you need to use this adhesive promoter to make sure that it sticks to the plastic well. But that's basically the concept of it. It's not difficult, it's just time consuming. You know, after you clean the bed of your truck out really well and dry everything, get all of this assembled, start sticking it in there, you may spend an hour or two working on this, but when we get it done, it's going to be a really nice alternative. Getting dark out here. I hate this time of year. It gets dark way too soon. But I'm finishing up now. I got the bed rug in there. Tomorrow when the sun comes back up, I'll give you a better look at it. But one thing I wanted to mention is the kit gives you a whole bunch of those little strips of double-sided or hook and loop rather, but they also give you a couple of longer strips. And what they intend for you to do is use one of the long strips up there across the top of the bulkhead, and then one of them back here on the tailgate edge. But what I've decided to do, since I have a bed cover that's also going on here, is I just use some of the shorter little pieces up there, and I'm going to use one of the longer pieces back here where this section wraps around, because it's going to be getting hit more often by cargo, and it's going to be seen more often. So I just want a nice, consistent piece of tape right here. So I took one of the long ones and cut it in half. I put half of it over there. I'm going to put half over here. And then, like I said, then you can wrap this around and it'll adhere really nicely. And then I've got one long section down there left to still do the tailgate edge. So just wanted to mention that, but yeah, so far so good. And I really like it so far. Initial impressions are great. Probably will have to finish this up tomorrow though, because I need the sunlight to be able to show you what's really going on here. So I finally got it all installed. Sun is back out again, so I wanted to show you this. You probably have seen these before, but man, this is really, really nice. I mean, look how great this looks. It's got a great, really nice, soft texture to it, but it's still really rugged and heavy duty. Initial impressions, I really like this. It ended up fitting pretty well. There's a couple of places here that need to still relax. Hopefully it's just because it was all curled up in that box. But it looks really good. It fit really good. It was easy to cut these little slits in here for the tie down hooks. That's something else you have to do when you install this. The only issue that I've had early on with this bed rug is this little part right here, the fabric that kind of covers the gap between the bed and the tailgate. It's supposed to stay in the up position like that, kind of humped up, so that when you close the tailgate, it doesn't get all, you know, mashed in there and wedged. And I think that kind of has a little bit to do with where you position this piece. So I may need to do some really minor adjustments on that, you know, and maybe shift the tailgate section a little bit to get that to stay up. But it looks like it's doing a little better today than it was yesterday. Anyway, this is great. And you can still put, you know, like that rubber mat that I had in the back of the truck, I can still put that in here. So if I'm hauling something really sharp, you know, like pallet forks or tent poles or whatever the case might be, something that might gouge the material, I can always throw that rubber mat in here real quick and give it even more protection. But this just looks so good. And that's my main thing with this, is I just really like the way it looks and the way it feels. And the price was great. So yeah, the Bedrug XLT. Now, you can get this bed rug in a new version called the Impact version. And from what I understand, it's exactly the same product, but the floor section is a little different. It's got a little bit more of a rubberized feel to it. And so that might be better for guys who are going to be hauling some really heavy stuff all the time. You know, if you throw a lot of firewood or heavy equipment or whatever into your truck, you might want to try that version. It may hold up a little better over time. So that's an option, but I went with this one because I already have a rubber mat that I can throw in here if I need to. So there it is, bed rug. And like I said, over the next several months, we're going to be putting this thing through its paces, and we're going to see if it really does hold up as well as they say. Now, the other thing that I did was I put a bed cover on here, and I went with the Gator FX cover. Now, if you remember the Jeep Gladiator Eco Diesel videos, I put a Gator EFX cover on that one. The FX is the exact same product with one big difference, and that is that you can actually raise this one all the way up against the cab of the truck. It has some rubber bumpers on there to prevent you from tearing up the cab of the truck, but you can do this, and then you've got these little prop rods right here that you can stick in place, and it'll hold it. And so now you have full access to the bed of the truck without having to remove the cover. The EFX, which is what I put on the Jeep Gladiator, did not have this feature, and so when I needed access to the entire bed, I had to take the whole cover off the truck, which doesn't take a lot of time. It's not really time consuming, but believe it or not, when this thing is folded up like this, it's pretty heavy actually. One guy can get it on and off the truck, you know, by itself, but it's not fun to do. This is actually pretty heavy because they build these very robust. So this time around, being a larger full-size truck, I didn't want to fool with the weight of having, excuse me, to lift this thing on and off the truck all the time. So having this feature where you can fold it up like that is really nice. It's only about $100 more money, and I got a really good deal on it for Black Friday, so I went ahead and got that feature. So now I can just leave the cover on there. But obviously it is an aluminum tri-fold, and listen to this. You hear that? It clicked into place. That's another thing that I really like about this. You can put it in this position and it clicks into place. So you can still have half of your bed open, half of your bed covered. You can do it like that if you want to. And you've got these little buckles right here that you can snap in to hold it down. Or obviously you can go ahead and click it into place like that. Now you've got a little bit of access back here if you want to throw a gas jug or something like that in there real quick. But the rest of it is nice and secure. And obviously it has a third position that snaps into place so you can cover the entire bed. It's, like I said, aluminum. It's got some nice seals. It does have water drains in the front to evacuate water out of the bed of the truck. And when you close the tailgate, it all seals up back here. That's another thing that I really wanted. I wanted to be able to use the tailgate independently of the bed cover. Some of the ones that I've seen on the market, you have to actually actuate this rear section of the bed cover before you can use your tailgate, and I don't like that. So Gator FX, we're going to see how this one holds up over time. It's one of the lesser expensive models out on the market. I mean, you can spend a ton of money on a bed cover if you want to, but I don't want to. So I went with one of the lesser expensive brands, but they're still made in the USA. It still looks like a great product. I love how it's low profile, sits down on the bed of the truck real nice, got some good rubber seals here. I mean, this is exactly what I needed. You know, now I can keep my cargo secure, keep it out of the weather and all that kind of stuff. But if I need full capability, I can just throw this thing up against the cab real quick and get it done. So that's going to do it for my bed accessories. The other thing that I might do is put some lights in here, because you can probably see it's kind of dark, you know, and obviously at night when you drop the tailgate, you can't see anything in there. And for some reason, the Laramie model does not come with LED lights. Don't understand it. I guess it's an option maybe in a level 2 package or something. I don't know. But anyway, I might put some LED lights up in here, but other than that, this should take care of the bed and make it a lot more useful as a pickup truck. You can do a lot of different things with the truck in this configuration. So that's going to wrap it up for this project. And like I said, stay tuned to the channel, because in the coming months, I'll give you an update on how the Bedrug is holding up, how this material is working out compared to the spray-ins and plastic drop-ins that I've had in the past. You know, a lot of people look at these bed rugs and they assume that it's carpet or very similar to carpet, and therefore it won't hold up to the things you use your truck for. So we're going to find out here on the channel, because I use my truck for all kinds of things. So stay tuned and we'll see how this holds up over time. But for now, guys, I appreciate you watching. We'll talk to you later.